Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amelia and here on this channel we talk about writing, journaling, and productivity to help you curate a life that you love. Okay, so I don't even know how to open this one, honestly. This is a weird journal spread because recently I've felt not really like a lack of creativity, but more like I've been journaling a ton and then a lot of my spreads started seeming very similar. I don't know if you saw my like Gemini spread and then my June one and then like my summer solstice one. They all kind of blended together and yeah. So I really wanted to do something different and test myself, and I went away from the summer vibe for a little bit and dove into a totally different vibe, something that I absolutely love, and we're just going to call it a vintage journal spread. So for this spread I actually jumped in and did something totally different, really pushed myself, so I'm super excited to show you guys what it looks like and how it turned out. But before I do so, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like journal spreads, scrapbook spreads, art journaling content like this, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the making of this really crazy, different spread.
Okay, so first, you won't believe how many times it has taken me to start this voiceover. I keep messing up. I don't even know why. Before we get into all of what I'm doing, what products I'm using, all that, I wanted to put out this quick mini disclaimer. I filmed this video like 2 weeks ago or so by the time I'm doing the voiceover, so bear with me if there are a few bumps in the road because I may or may not have forgotten what I was doing. So first, on the right side, you can see that reddish brown paper, which I got from my little scrapbook paper booklet. I will leave a link to it and all the other products used in today's video below if you are interested, but that was part of the booklet, and then so was the map paper that you see torn in the corner. The paper that is like sheer vellum, kind of regal looking, that one and the white 3D paper are from Michaels, and I'm so in love with them, honestly. I ended up going back and got more because they're so fun to use, so easy to use, and I just love the patterns. But yes, they did come from Michaels, and you can see all of these things in my stationery haul video because I think I'm using everything from that. The paper below, the white paper on the screen at the moment, is actually a page from a book, and recently I've gotten a lot of questions on Pinterest and TikTok about using actual book pages in my scrapbook art, and I kind of wanted to just come clean. I got this book for free. It was in the free bin at a secondhand store, and they were trying to encourage people to take the books for free, but the books were missing covers, missing pages, they were colored in, torn. I mean, they were almost unreadable. So the store was going to throw them away if nobody bought them. So I ended up using them for art because I didn't really think that the paper deserved to go to a landfill when I could use it for artistic purposes. So I promise I'm not entirely a book murderer. I don't go and buy new books and tear them up just for the kicks and giggles. As an author, I really value books, but then this one was going to go to the trash anyway because so much of the story was already ripped out, so I just kind of wanted to give it new life. So after laying all of the papers with different sizes and different styles, I used this newspaper washi tape and then a couple other smaller washi tapes from my neutral collection. And then I also used that little white envelope pocket on the side. The goal of this spread, honestly, was I had this like maroonish and white and cream color in mind, which is why that's the palette that we're going with. But the goal of the entire spread was honestly just to do something very layered and very vintagey. I wanted to have a little pocket and this like flippy tab thing in the center, just because I thought that doing so might help get me out of my creative slump that I was kind of entering. So I'm also using this stamp, which I got from a secondhand antique store, and I just used it on the back of this paper, which I lined with white cardstock and then that bold like reddish brown color because the lined paper was too flimsy to flip, so I needed to add like something else to it to help it, make it flip back and forth. Plus it was fun to just kind of add a little design to the back of it since I knew I wasn't going to be writing back there. So at this point, I have pretty much the majority of the design done, as you can see on the screen, but I was kind of interested in playing around with stickers and just extra like little additions. So I have these like world / moon sun kind of sticker type things. They're printed from Canva, which is my favorite place to get little stickers. And I actually printed these for my Dark Academia spread, if you remember that, or if you haven't, I will leave a link so you guys can go see it. But these were printed for that spread, but they were printed, I believe, too big, and so I ended up not using them, and I printed a smaller version instead for the other spread. So I'm using them now in this vintage spread because it just felt, it was the color palette I wanted to go for, and it felt like it would suit this spread quite well. I also used a sticker off to the side with that little yellow carnation flower rose. I'm not even sure what flower that is, but I got the sticker booklet from the dollar store, which is, I think I've mentioned it before, but it's my favorite place to get stickers. So I do spend a lot of time trying to find ways to reuse things that I've purchased and to really get my money's worth, but I also try hard to thrift as much as I can. So if things can be thrifted, I will do that. I've found that I love reusing paper and tickets, brochures, maps, and things that I use on trips, or going to clearance sections in like Michael's and Joann's or Hobby Lobby, because those places, you know, they're going to get rid of the items if they're on clearance or if they're broken or whatever, and I would just rather use them than let them go to waste. So here I'm using these little cardboard letters. I got them in my stationery haul as well, from Michael's, from their clearance section. It was the only one in the section, so I'm really glad I used them. But yeah, I'm using that and writing the words "magic is real" because I think this spread ended up being more vintage, magical, and just really warming.
Alright, and that was the making of the vintage scrapbook spread. I really need a better name for it, but that's all I have at the moment. So if my thumbnail and, you know, title are totally different, then that's because I found more creativity. If they're not, then that's because I lack the creativity. I actually, to come in with these like final thoughts on this before we get into the voiceover, I actually really liked this spread. I think that I pushed myself in a different direction. I really tried something different, and one thing that I have been meaning to do more of is these like middle flippy tab type things, which I did at the top of the spread on the right side. So I'm honestly really happy with the coloring, with the textures, and the different things that I used. So I am so happy that I like broke out of my weird summer not doing too well kind of scrapbooking phase and got into this one. This is probably one of my favorite spreads, even if it's a little bit cluttered. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say on it. So let's go ahead and get to the final voiceover where I will give you my final thoughts and all of that good stuff.
Overall, this goes down, hands down, as one of my all-time favorites. I ended up putting a quote at the top that is from my book, Witch in the Water, which says, "I think everybody has magic, but they just don't know it yet." And part of it is because I couldn't find a better magic quote that suited the vibe I was going for, because I really wanted this to be very magical and very vibrant, which is why I have those words that says "magic is real" on the sides. I really enjoyed the coloring of this one and the vintage aesthetic because it's just something that feels really close to home and feels close to me as a person, and I would love to do more vintage spreads in the future. So if you guys like them, please be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know if you're interested in more vintage-esque spreads, more aesthetic spreads that don't necessarily correlate to a holiday or a season or anything like that. When it comes to this design, it reminds me so much of my Dark Academia and Dead Poet Society designs, which are also my favorites. So yeah, I can't lie. This is one of those spreads that I'm really, really happy with.
Alright, and that is all that I have for you guys today. I really hope that you enjoyed this journal spread. Again, it's probably one of my favorites, going to go down as one of my favorites, and I'm super excited to try to do more like it, or at least to push myself a little bit more when it comes to my art journal stuff. So again, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps out me and my channel, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. So without further ado, I will go ahead and catch you next time.